Should be live. What's up, guys? Welcome to day 3 of 30 Days, 30 Chats. Today we're talking to Greeny, the Green Shiz. I've talked to him quite a few times on the channel. You guys probably know who he is at this point. But if you don't, Greeny, tell people who you are, where they can find you, do the plugs up front so everyone knows where to support you.
thegreenshiz/onlyfans.com now. No, Feet Finder, any of that stuff.
Feet
No.
Finder.
Farmers Meat, all those places I'm found there. But no, the Green Shiz on pretty much all things. Big collector. I'm going to talk a little bit about our consignment service here in a little bit on thegreenshiz.com. But yeah, I just big fan of yours, Java, and what you're doing, and Godspeed to not burning yourself out after 30 days and still making YouTube videos after this. So I'm excited to be part of it. I appreciate it.
Yeah, hopefully I have some videos that I'm still working on in between all of this that will come out after the fact. But it'll be interesting. Something that I want to do too is to try and make a video when I'm in Chicago as well. And I don't know, it's a lot, but like I think it was after the chat last night with Retro. I was like, I just like talking to the fun thing. The crazy thing is that everyone has said yes so far, pretty much. If they've had time to, otherwise it's like, I really don't have time this month or whatever. And I really haven't had that many scheduling issues either. Like everyone's just cool with like picking a day and being a part of it, which is pretty awesome to have like 25 people you can reach out to and everyone say yes. So that's pretty crazy. And everyone's different. Like Retro, has a very different business than you, who has a very different business than Ponga, who has everyone's different in their own way. And it's interesting to talk to everyone and get their sides of things and all that stuff. So
definitely, man.
Yeah. So let's talk Chicago Collecticon, because that's next week. And it's coming out so fast. I was just in Miami.
Yeah.
And now it's next week already. But I heard you're getting there Friday and you're bringing the wife. You're staying with the rest of us at the Airbnb, which is going to be fun.
Hell yeah, dude. Look forward to it.
Yeah. So what are your plans for Chicago? Because I know you're not vending. I'm pretty sure you're not vending. So what are you kind of going there just to hang out? Do you want to buy some stuff, or what are you thinking?
Maybe selling some stuff. I got a bunch of graded cards. You can see some behind me, a bunch of gray felt hat Pikachus I'd like to unload. And if I don't unload them, maybe give them to Z&G if he shows up there. Let him consign them, because I don't consign graded cards. So yeah, main thing is just go there, network, get to see people, talk to them about kind of what we're doing, my wife's doing, on the consignment side of sealed products. And then it's been a while. I think the last one I went to was Chicago last year. I don't remember what month that was.
Might have been October.
Yeah, it wasn't a bad enough weather to like walking outside wasn't miserable. So
yeah,
but it's been a minute. It feels like that's half a year at this point, which is probably the longest Collecticon drought I've had in a long time. I was going to quite a few of them, and it feels good to kind of pull back more so going to buy and just interact. It's nice not having to fly. You're not all in with all of that cost. For me, it makes it easier to make money on a trip because you're not fighting against your air flight cost. So
that's true.
Yeah, I like buying stuff and buy stuff to grade, and it's a lot easier not flying.
Okay, sweet.
What about you?
Similar, yeah. I'm not vending, but I am gonna bring some stuff because I think there are a couple of friends that are gonna be there that are gonna potentially have like consignment tables where they're gonna take a bunch of other people's stuff and sell them for a percentage. So I'll hopefully take advantage of that with some of my higher liquidity type of stuff that I think would sell during that weekend. Gray felt hats would be great to have. Those will probably sell like hotcakes, I would think. But yeah, take advantage of that, and then definitely walk around, try to buy some stuff maybe to grade. And I have an idea of a video I potentially want to do. Someone in one of my live streams was like, you should do a vending scavenger hunt, not a vending scavenger hunt, but like a buyer scavenger hunt at a Collecticon. So I was trying to think of all these different wacky things, like basically like randomly spinning a wheel, and it would be like PSA, BGS, CGC, and then it would be like what grade or like value tier, and then it would add another thing of like another qualifier of like, oh, it has to be a Pokemon that you'd like to eat, or it has to be a Pokemon that you have to, and then putting all that together, doing it like 5 times and trying to find those 5 cards like on the floor, making a video out of it. I think that would be
pretty sweet.
Yeah. So I might try and throw that together before, but it would be a lot of work to come up with all that. So
yeah, one of my other favorite easier ones that people have done, not many, but is like you and a buddy set a budget, $50, whatever, go get the best value in a card for that and see what you can come up with is pretty cool.
Yeah.
And then have whatever the people vote and see who won is a pretty easy one.
Yeah. In Miami, I did where I sourced cards that I think would get pristine 10s. And so I'm sending those off. And if I get above 50% pristine 10s, then I just win. But if I get below, I have to give away the highest value pristine 10 to someone on the channel. So it's going to be like a challenge in that way. So I'm trying to think of like different fun content ideas that you can do if you're not vending at a show, to take advantage of still being there, you know?
Or do like the world's most cringe trade up challenge. Just intentionally make it super cringe.
Yeah.
More than Leonhardt did. And I think it would annihilate. It'd get so many shares.
Yeah, a lot of people like the cringe content, that's for sure. I can't do it, but I can't do it myself. But yeah, that would be fun.
Yeah.
Let's say hi to some people in the chat. We got Pokey Chef in. He must be off today. That or he's slinging steaks and watching us. We got Drew, best one in the game. Namp and Hoodoo TCG are all in nice and early today. Appreciate you guys.
Appreciate you.
Make sure throughout this entire chat, you can ask whatever questions you want in regards to anything Greeny, anything me, or the both of us, and we will try and get to them. This is as much a Q&A as it is us chatting. So make sure if you have any questions, put them in the chat. All right, so Chicago Collecticon. Is there anything you're trying to, apart from the actual show, is there anything you're excited for about Chicago? Is there anything from the last trip you're like, man, we got to try and eat from there again, or we have to try and like, or are you looking forward to, doing stuff while you're in Chicago?
The steakhouse we went to was really good. Shout out to Pokey Chef. He was there. That was really, I think that Collecticon was the first one I got to meet Chef because he didn't stop by my table in Charlotte the year prior. So yeah, it was really cool going to that steakhouse with a big group, 2 tables. We were rolling deep, and then they brought out, because Chef knew the guy, they brought out freaking tons of lobster and all that other stuff. It was so good. So
nice.
I would go there again for sure. So yeah, that's probably the main one.
Yeah, Chef always hooks us up. We had a big dinner in Charlotte at the steakhouse as well. Definitely always hooks us up. So we appreciate that.
Yeah, it was awesome. What about you?
I really like Chicago pizza, not the deep dish, but I like the thin, like the tavern style. And the stuff that we had last time that we just got at the Airbnb was like, it was nostalgic because I lived near Chicago for like 6 or 7 years.
Yeah.
And my stepdad is huge into that like thin crust tavern style. So I've had a ton of it. And you can't get that style of pizza where I'm at. It's basically all New York style pizza here because we're on the East Coast. But yeah, it was nostalgic. It was good stuff. I really liked it a lot. So hopefully we'll get some thin crust tavern style Chicago pizza again while I'm out there. I'll have to figure that out, how to do that.
Yeah, I'm down for that. That, and then also looking forward to just hanging out with the boys at the Airbnb and my wife. That'll be a blast. I already asked Old School Pokemon if the party's at his place, and he said probably not. So the party's gonna have to be at the Airbnb. So hopefully that's accepted.
Oh yeah, that should be fine.
Because I think Pokemon Wonder's staying over there. So we'll have to get a big squad together.
Yeah, we'll have to get people together for sure.
Is it gonna be warm enough for swimming? Because I'm pretty sure there's a pool at the Airbnb.
There is a pool. I think it's supposed to be in like the 50s though, so I don't know.
That's perfect.
I don't. Yeah, it will depend on whether it's open, I guess, or whether they have the cover on it or not, or if
that's like a warm cold
empty
plunge.
or yeah, exactly, cold plunge.
That ain't bad at all.
Oak, thank you very much for the $2. Appreciate it. I'm going to be talking to Oak.
Make you holler.
I'm going to be talking to Oak later in the month. So, your guys' podcast. Shout out your podcast.
Yeah, Slab Podcast every week. We never skip. We've been going solid for 7 years, and we have 35 episodes. We don't skip an episode. And we've been going literally, I don't know how long it's been now, 3 years? I think we've been going for like 3 years on the podcast. We're episode 100, hope this year for sure. We're at episode 85 or 6. Slab Podcast on YouTube. It's its own separate channel. Very cool. Just a couple collectors, but at the same time, me and Professor Oak also work 9 to 5, go to school, have families. We're dads. Like very similar discussions and lives, and it's really fun getting to chat with somebody like that every week.
Yeah, that's awesome. I've always enjoyed Slab Podcast. I enjoy it so much that when I talk about box nostalgia, I consistently call it Slab Podcast. So
as you should.
Exactly. Oak, thank you very much for the 5 memberships as well.
Right.
Yeah. So Inept, you're in the wrong chat. The prostate exam someplace else here. I guess we're missing out. We must be missing out.
I need to probably schedule one soon because I'm getting older, 34 now. So I need to start Googling when I should probably start that.
All right. Well, let's talk about the consignment business, because that is the big thing that you announced earlier this year, that you were going to take on something that not very many people have chosen to take on, probably because they're a bit afraid to, but you're like, screw it. We're going to give it a shot and see what's going on. And that is sealed product consignment business for TCG products, not necessarily just Pokemon. You've done like some Magic and stuff, right?
Yep.
As well.
Yeah. One Piece, Magic. Yeah. So in January 1st, I was not having any vision on having or being part of a full-time Pokemon business because I am in sales currently. I've been in my career, my company for 14 years. It ain't changing. Basically, I work 9 to 5, 8 to 5, essentially. And I do really well. And I'm not going to be changing that. I'm not going to be doing Pokemon full time. And I didn't ever put thought into it. And then got hit up by a couple people's like, hey, would you consign something? Would you consign something? Just having been making YouTube and being kind of in this for a while, people ask me to do that sometimes. And then I started crunching some numbers, thinking about it. And then I have a wife who is a stay-at-home mom, and our kids just are going back to school now full time. Like they're in this past semester or this year, both of my kids are in school full time now. So instead of her possibly to go start teaching, we're giving this a shot, really. And I think there's a lot more opportunity here than the way teachers are being treated in our country right now. It's pretty disrespectful. It's crazy. So really want to give this a shot. My wife is basically running a sealed consignment business. I'm like the sales / marketing person is basically all I'm doing. My wife does the payouts. She does the eBay listing. She does everything. And I'll verify and check her listings because she just listed some today. I'll go look at them, make sure things are looking good, just in case she missed something or something like that. And I do the best I can. But she is literally, not having been a TCG person, is just full in stride, has done exceptional with it. She's absolutely loving it. So she likes being able to work from home, have our own home office, not having to stress. Way better than having to go start teaching. So hopefully we can make it last. But it is, just sealed products, Pokemon, booster boxes, cases. We just got in 4 cases of one piece. Yeah, so it's slow. I'm not pushing the marketing too hard. I'm going to plan on doing some commercials and stuff through other channels. I already have reached out to some people and have plans. But yeah, just kind of tiptoeing, see how things are going. But yeah, she's liking it.
So one of the things that I think about when it comes to sealed product and sealed product consignment is we've had issues in the past in the hobby with sealed products being, not what they say they are, like cases that end up being GI Joe instead of, high value Pokemon and stuff like that. What how do you mitigate the potential for risk in that? Or like, are you checking the products and like making sure? Are you selling cases? Do you crack the cases and reseal them? Do you like, how are you making sure that the stuff that you're getting in is legit, I guess?
We are not cracking cases if that's the way the consignor intends them to be sold. So it is different than slabs, big time. With slabs, a consignor receives in a slab, and it's really up to them to look at it, authenticate it. Yeah, this is real. We can send it. The sealed, it's tougher because it's in a cardboard box covered in cellophane sometimes. And we had an occurrence one time already where we sold a box. It looked like sold a case. It looked legit. Everything. We shipped it to the guy. He emailed me instantly saying I was a scammer.
Oh,
And so my first thought is, okay, like he was coming at with me aggression. So he would have lost the case if I opened the case because he was like threatening.
oh yeah,
And
yeah.
I'm like, yeah, this guy's
Can't
cooked.
do that
Like
on
he
eBay.
has no
Yeah.
chance if I opened a case. But I heard him out, and then I just messaged my consignor. I'm like, hey, are you sure this was legit? He's like, let me just check because he's like, I got it from distribution. Come to find out, the distribution company slid open the case, stuffed it with mixed Pokemon and One Piece inside of a One Piece case. And he had receipts kind of showing that it had just been sitting for a couple of years. And then it came up and we worked it backwards. So it's not going to be the same case where like if it came down to it where the guy shipped it back and like if it was a fake case, me and the consignor are going to have beef essentially. Like there is terms and conditions inside of our website. We are not going to be selling your fake product. If I think it's super legit and the dude's obviously scamming and I get stuffed with a bill, then it's our risk. We're going to eat it. But you better be doing really good as a consignor, responding to messages and hearing me out and talking through it. There's definitely stuff like that can come up. So there's a lot of risk. We're weighing all the risks. It's there. Luckily, being as small as we are, all of my business so far has been through people I know. I don't see that changing anytime soon. Really, some people have gotten referred to us. Shout out to Z&G Emporium because he doesn't do sealed products. So I flip him some people and he'll flip me some, which is awesome. And yeah, I think there is risk for sure, way more risk than the slabs, but we also make a little bit more money than consigning slabs. So, which is good.
Yeah. Yeah, that's awesome. It's definitely it seems like a tricky ground to walk with that. It's probably why there's not a whole lot of businesses out there that do a lot of the sealed product stuff, just because if it is like a really big business that's wide open to everybody, like you never know what's going to slip through. And then but it's nice that there's enough people in this hobby that know a lot of other people that are legit, that that can push people your way and
Yeah.
kind of get you started and doing all that stuff. So that's awesome.
Yeah.
So couple bumps in the road, but so far it's been pretty good the last 3
Yeah.
months.
Literally just the one bump in the road, literally one. And we've sold, I don't know, 70,000 in the first quarter, roughly dollars.
Nice.
Decent amount of sealed actual quantity through. So it's probably 200 pieces, 250, I don't know, roughly 200 pieces that we've sold. one issue. And it ended up not being an issue. So yeah, it was pretty good. Yeah, can't complain.
Awesome. And I don't remember. I lost it. It's gone.
No, you're good. What me asking a potential customer, you like what? Because obviously you had sold a bunch of ETBs or something I had busted your balls about. What is now like? I don't know if you're familiar with my updated rates, but what is like your concerns using a sealed consignment service, or what? Why would you not use it and do it yourself? Like, what is kind of what your thoughts behind it?
I think at the time when we had talked, because I sold all my Pokemon Center ETBs, like all of them, cases, all of it, because I was just like, they're way too expensive.
One buyer?
No.
Okay.
Different buyers. And I guess my thought was that the boxes are, I guess at the time I really didn't know how expensive it would be to ship all that to you. So to me, it was like, well, I have to eat this shipping cost. How much is that going to impact my percentage ultimately? Because then you guys will take a percentage because it's a consignment service. That's just how it works. So was the percentage for that much stuff going to make sense? And then I was just like, oh, I'll just sell it myself, whatever. But yeah, I mean, I didn't really think too far into it. I just wanted to get them up as fast as possible and just get rid of them. But yeah, that was my analysis at the time.
Yeah. I wonder if it would be beneficial because it is different than shipping a slab in a 6x4 bubble mailer to a consignment service. There's a little bit more thought into it, having to ship things in bigger boxes. And if you want to ship multiple, like we just received, like the 4 one-piece cases came in one box. Like that thing, the mail dude saw my wife come to pick it up. He's like, all right, I'm going to help you carry this to your car, young woman. Yeah. So, there's some heavy, some heavy boxes. So I understand, but I wonder if it'd be interesting to have like some version of a calculator where you can punch in your estimated shipping cost. I think that could be pretty easily done. That'd be pretty cool to actually do it.
Yeah, some sort of shipping calculators. That would make it really easy. Like if you had a couple on your website for FedEx, for UPS, and people could just punch in and be like, all right, this box is 70 pounds, whatever, this dimensions, roughly how much is it going to cost me? That would be that would be very helpful because then you wouldn't have to do all that work yourself. You could do some sort of estimates. Thank you, Drew. Thank you, iFOMO. I think Oak said we're 2 more donations away from hitting the donation goal. I'm just throwing the minimum donation goal thing up at the top because it's like I'm doing 30 of these. So I'm like, if we could hit a couple donation goals, that would be pretty cool. But I'm not too worried about it. I appreciate you guys. Thank you very much for that. All right, we did have a couple questions. One from Hoodoo way back here about your business. So, have you talked with eBay at all about your rates with your business? And if so, how has that gone? I assume that you're not at that level yet, or maybe you have reached out to them. What's?
Oh, I definitely reached out. Like I don't fuck around. I was like, I'm trying to. I'll swing my dick around as soon as I can. And it's interesting. Like I was trying to play the side. I'm like, hey, you guys, you're basically, you have a monopoly kind of inside of your own monopoly you have. So I'm trying to create some competition for the guy that's creating his own website and doing his own thing, Mr. Propstein. And I had a pretty good approach to it, but the dude I was talking to was definitely not English speaking in the chat. I couldn't get a phone number out of him. I'm like, hey, I want a sales rep. And he's just like, no comprende. And it just went into a wall. So I don't have a phone number of a human to call. I think I need to go to the National and go to their booth or somewhere where they have real humans. Cause I'm not going to ask guys that I know that have these reps to give me their contact. I'm good. I want to do it myself. So, and that would be kind of awkward. So yeah, I've definitely approached it, tried it. So I have currently, my rates are not negotiated. They're the lowest I can be basically with being a, whatever it's called, top rated seller, 12.3 something %.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you could do the math, figure out how much money we make. But yeah, it's as low as I can get without negotiated rates, I think, pretty much. So gonna keep trying. They're not gonna hear the end of it till they give me something eventually. But from my understanding, it definitely, you got to hit a certain threshold, but at the same time, also, people can be persuaded and negotiated.
Yeah.
But I also have not dealt with eBay on a personal side at all outside of with cases. So looking forward to it, that whole side of it, and talking to those people, and because that's what I do in my current job is I sell things. So um, I thoroughly enjoy what I do, and I definitely will be giving it my all to reduce our rates as much as I can.
That's awesome.
It's fun.
Yeah, hopefully eBay will have that chat with you guys, and we'll be at least if they gave you a goal of like, if you hit this sales goal, come back to us and we'll discuss something, like, because then you have something to work toward as well, you know. And
Jesus Christ.
but
I already got enough goals in my own job. I don't get another sales goal. God damn it. Yeah, that makes sense though. But
yeah,
that's hilarious. I never thought about it that way. Like, damn, I literally have sales goals. So to have a one from eBay to get lower rates would be pretty funny.
oh man,
I'll just start selling my old sealed stuff to hit it.
yeah. Well, that's one thing that I have to ask about, because at some point you invested in a lot of Lost Origin boxes, and Lost Origin, just like everything else, has popped the F off.
Yeah.
And I'm curious, are you still diamond handsing those things, or is it ready to move them?
I don't know, man. Like I originally put whatever the money was into it with plans of selling it when I saw the next Lost Origin, like when I saw the next set that I knew was going to pop off in a booster box form. Um, and that's the one coming out soon. And I literally was going to sell all of my sealed and just dump it into Rocket if it was attainable at MSRP.
Yeah.
I'm not going to do it with the market price they are at now. I would have had no problem buying it. Like when Lost Origin, when I went balls deep into those, they were $90 a piece. I'm like, yeah, unload. I got tons of them, and not tons. It's 50, whatever, 2 boxes. It's not bajillions, but it's more than the average man.
I mean, that's a quite the multiplier. Only at
Not
$90, because are they like $300 some dollars a box right now or something?
$395
Yeah, so they're like
roughly.
$400. So you 4x
Yeah,
your money.
yeah. So in my mind, I can unload all those, get the Rocket set at probably 220 or 250 with the way it's been going, because I don't have distribution, so I'm buying through third party sellers or whatever.
Yeah, I wouldn't be.
So it'd literally be I'm going into a new modern box at 250. The
No.
upside of that is probably you're still probably cooking. If you're waiting 3 years like I have with everything else, you're probably cooking, but it just feels bad. 250 is expensive
Maybe.
for a box.
You think 3 years from Rocket's release, that set that is going to be $1,000 a box, that you're going to be able to
No, I don't think it's
4x,
big.
and
I don't know if
like,
it'll 4x.
but
No,
you 4x your current boxes.
I think it would double maybe in 3-4 years. Who knows?
Maybe.
Depends on what the Mewtwo looks like, and some of the other cards that are yet to be released. But yeah, I think that was my original plan going into it, assuming things were the same, prices were just below MSRP. Like when I bought Lost Origin, obviously $90, nobody gave an F about Lost Origin. I was hoping to keep doing that and holding things for 5 years and then flipping into it and doing it all over again. But yeah,
I mean, technically you could do that, because at some point the market's going to turn right, and Rocket could potentially come down in price depending on how much they print. But if you don't
yeah,
sell Lost Origin at peak, that could also come down.
I don't think Rocket's going down in price. Now with the
I
current
don't
state of
know.
things, it would be later, much later in our timeline. It's not going to be in the next 6 months.
Probably, well, I mean, it really depends on the market.
What are we betting?
That it'll come down from 200 a box.
Be below $200 a box in 6 months.
$100.
I'll take your bet.
All right. I'll do that.
That's fun. Let's see what happens.
6 months below $200 a box. All right.
Thanks for all the donations in the chat. That's coming straight to
I'll be sending that to Greenie at the end of the year.
6 months. Clip it.
All right. $100.
No, yeah, I think it's absolutely cooking. So I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to leave it sit for whatever. I don't know until it flips and I can buy it MSRP. I'd be so much happier just to buy something at below $200. It just feels bad, even though I know it's going to do well. But
yeah,
it's pricey.
Yeah. We have a question from Son of a Merc. Going back to when you guys first started flipping slabs, do you guys remember the moment or submission or whatever it is you thought yourself, maybe this can work?
You go first.
I actually had a submission. It was my first like big mid-era submission, and I was in Japan the second time I went to Japan when I got the PSA grades back. I was standing in my Airbnb in Kyoto, and I got the email, your PSA grades are ready. And I think it was one of my first ever submissions with PSA as well, because when I first got in, I was subbing with CGC a lot, and then eventually just moved purely over to PSA at one point. And so that was like my first big submission. It was like 100 and some cards, all like mid-era, popular Pokemon, whatever. And I got so many 10s. I was just scrolling through and it was like 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10. And I was like, oh my God. And in that moment, I was like, oh man, I want to fly home right now so I can get these up on eBay and sell. And yeah, I still have my spreadsheet from the sales from that submission. And it's just like dark green all the way down, like $100 profits on like every card. It was like a huge thing. And I was like, okay, I feel like I kind of know what I'm doing. This is cool. So what about you?
Flipping slabs, do you think he's asking like buying a slab and then selling a slab, or you think he's actually talking about?
Could be that, or could be buying raw and grading.
Yeah. So purchased a binder one time for like $300. The dude drove to my house and I gave him $300 cash. I'm like, all right, sure. Barely looked at it. It was dark out. And it ended up having a CD promo set in it and a bunch of other just WotC set of base. And the Charizard got a pristine 10 at CGC, and it was one of the first pristine 10s I've ever seen.
So the CD promo?
CD promo. And out of a binder without a sleeve.
Yeah.
One of my first submissions, I couldn't believe it. It definitely should not have been a pristine, but
was it Blue Label pristine?
Yeah, it was like original in the first few months of their company, months of their company. I couldn't believe it. That's the only one I had ever seen pretty much back in the day. I couldn't even get a freaking 10 out of them, let alone the prestige or whatever. Yeah. So it that was awesome. I flipped it, sold it instantly. So that felt fantastic being able to do that. More so, I had way more success buying things and then selling them raw in the start. Like that's all I did for like 9 months, was buying collections, selling them raw on Facebook, or primarily on Facebook. And I was cooking. I miss it. It took a lot more time.
Yeah.
That was fun buying, because I was buying way more collections than I am not bought a collection since the Yu-Gi-Oh one I bought really a year and a half, 2 years ago now. And I miss that a lot. I miss going through it, finding the stuff, finding 3 hollows deep in a pocket, and they said there's just one. Like,
yeah,
that stuff is fun. Looking through these binders and seeing this stuff is what I miss for sure.
Yeah, I've been doing the flipping stuff for quite a long time. I started with video. Well, I started in RuneScape, flipping armor sets, and then it was video games for I don't know how many years, just going to every single garage sale within a 20-mile radius, and checking out for video games and getting a crazy collection and then selling all that off and then kind of taking that knowledge into Pokemon and trying to do the same thing. So it's always kind of worked its way out somehow. So, but yeah, that was probably the biggest submission where I was like, okay, I got to go harder into this because this is working out. This is the way to do it,
Yeah. Yeah. Most
So,
recently, though, is when I scammed Catch 'em All Collectibles. I bought him 40 of his felt hat Pikachus at $200. And then
there
they
you go.
proceeded to almost double again, which was fantastic.
There you go. Hell yeah.
Bro got cooked. Appreciate you, Dan.
Oh, man. Did he sell you? Were those pre-graded ones or were those just sealed like
They're PSA 9s.
out?
I
Oh, they
paid
were all
$200
9s.
for 40 PSA 9s. Those are the ones I cracked.
And you got a bunch of 10s back.
8 10s. I knew I would, especially with the current state of grading. Everyone's getting 25% 10s now, so I was like a shoe in for
it. Yeah.
Yeah. So that was fantastic. Those are the ones I'm going to sell at CollectCon.
Yeah.
Let me know if you need a Pikachu, people.
Yeah. Oh man.
Got you.
Great question as well.
People.
Yeah. I like that. The question definitely made sense. Let's see. Nice to hear when things get serious for people. Yeah, that was kind of the turning point. I feel like where I felt like I was knew what I was doing. Cheval thinks it's a 2K box by Christmas. Oh, 2026.
Yeah, so
Christmas next year.
Yeah.
2K? No, that's insane.
Maybe he's talking Australian or Canadian dollars, probably. Yeah.
Is that like $2 American?
Whoa. Oh. Jesus.
Oh man.
Yikes.
All right. So one thing that I did recently, you made a video about it recently as well. I shit on the game enough that I had to go through. I had people in my live streams giving me shit because I hadn't actually played the game yet. I shit on it constantly.
Rightfully
so. I went back and played Scarlet and Violet and played it all the way through, beat the 3 storylines, did the post game, all that stuff, everything. On stream. If you're a member now, you can go back and watch the whole playthrough if you want. And it was well. I want to know what you thought. Did you end up finishing the whole thing, like the post game and stuff?
I finished the 3 storylines, beat the Elite Four. And then there was a thing. Oh, I went to the Ground Zero thing.
Yeah.
And then heard the Ed Sheeran song this past weekend.
Okay, yeah, that's the end. Yeah.
So literally, I did all that stuff a while ago, and then I just did the Ground Zero thing this past weekend.
Gotcha.
And Ed Sheeran was playing. I'm like, what is happening? I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot I did a Pokemon song. But no, I haven't played a game since Black Diamond. I want to say I played Black, but I didn't really beat Black. But I think Diamond was probably the last one I beat. Way different. Didn't like how it took 3 hours to get the game started. Felt like it was dragging ass in the beginning.
Yeah.
Like, bitch, give me my Pokemon so I can go do some things. Like, it just took way too long. I don't like the smashing the A button to get through the text. Like, it's just, that's annoying. But the game itself, the seeing the Pokemon in the grass is really cool. I thought it would be really lame. It kind of was the start, but I ended up liking and enjoying it. It's how it would be kind of in real life, right? So
yeah.
That was kind of cool to see that for the first time because I didn't play Arceus, and I like the gyms. Ended up liking the hats a little bit more. Like I hated them. Way more respect for them after the game a little bit. Didn't really understand the storyline, where they came from. Didn't make sense to me. It makes more sense to me now. But yeah, I think overall it's good. Way too easy with the experience share. Like, I had a level 40 Gyarados after one badge. Makes no sense. Impossible in the other Pokemon games unless you grind it for like 100 hours. So yeah. I don't know. Overall, I would play the next generation. That's kind of where I'm at. I don't know if I'd play the Z to A. I don't know, but
yeah.
What are your thoughts?
So Nan-P is my biggest hater. He was there for the entire playthrough, just shitting on me the whole time. And it was amazing. We never got an I was wrong by Java. Even the game was decent. Even if the game was decent at best, was not shit. Yet he moves the goalpost and says he doesn't have to say it. Okay, I will say the game is not shit. But like I said in the past, Pokemon games are kind of like pizza. I've never had an inedible pizza. Pizza is always good enough that I can eat it. Like I could still have a slice. And Pokemon to me is that way. Pokemon is like there's still always that core formula that's going to make it entertaining, even if there's a lot of stuff around that core formula that I don't like. So there are really good pizzas and really good Pokemon games, and there's mediocre pizzas and mediocre Pokemon games. I wouldn't say that any Pokemon game is shit. Not after playing this one, even though I probably would have said it was shit prior to playing it. But what I will say is I thought the story in this game was dog shit. I didn't like it at all until the last hour and a half. The last hour and a half when you go into the crater and all that stuff, super cool. That's what the whole game should have been like. The mystery, the sci-fi, the suspense, all the characters together chatting and having like a four-person like friendship kind of dynamics going on and stuff like that was super cool. Everything up to that was just like, yeah, okay. Like there wasn't a villain the entire game until the last hour. You know, everyone else was just kind of like, I was a bully and I got bullied. Now I'm a bully, but I'm now I'm not a bully. And it's like, okay, so you're kind of rude, but you're not actually bad because bad things happen to you. Was like every single character until you got to like the last hour and a half. So I thought the last hour and a half of the game, when you go in the crater and everything, I thought that was awesome. Like super cool environment, super cool. All that stuff was super cool. Everything leading up to that was like, it was a mediocre pizza. And then that last half was like, oh, I got the right bite in the last.
You know why you liked the last hour and a half? You want me to tell you why you liked it?
Because it actually was decent. Why?
It's because you had to follow the same path all the way down. It was well constructed. No. You couldn't venture outside of it, really. It took you back to the old Pokemon.
No. It was so. There's an anime that I watched that basically they just ripped the same feeling from this anime to build this this section of the. So I really attached kind of this anime that I had seen and how great that anime is to this section because it was very, very similar. And then the music was incredible. Like the music in that section was like straight out of like Nier or one of those like really good PlayStation games that has this really awesome music. And it just totally took a shift in like tone and feeling of the environment and everything in a way that I thought was super cool. So, and I liked that there was an actual villain. Like there's a villain that you have to fight and, mystery and the game really didn't have that up to that point. But I will say I was wrong. I've called the game shit in the past. It's not shit. I still don't really like the hats. I prefer Gigantamax because it changes the actual design of the Pokemon. I prefer Megas. 100% prefer Megas. It's way better than hats. So you think Megas and Gigantamaxes are trash compared to the hats?
Big time.
Every Pokemon type has the same hat. There's nothing like interesting about them. What are you talking about? That's crazy.
No, it's I don't know. I'm not a fan of gigantic Pokemon. I think it's lame. I think it's stupid. I've never. I don't know.
Dynamaxing. I would say Dynamaxing, dumb because that just makes the Pokemon bigger. But the Gigantamax that makes it bigger, but also changes the design. I think is better than just throwing a hat on top of the head of a Pokemon. Personally, but
to each their own, man. But yeah, you hit it on the head with the music inside of the Area Zero thing. That was like I found myself. I was like, shit, slaps.
Yeah, it was cool.
Pumped up, ready to run through a wall. I was hooked in that game at that last hour.
It was definitely cool, and I will never win to Nanp, and that's okay, Nanp. I love you, but to be fair, you were speed running through it to the finish. See, I just can't win. If I slow down to play it, you're going too slow. You're not. If you go too fast, you're going too fast. I play the game. I beat it. It's not shit. Give me a break. Give me a break.
Pretty sure I can highlight comments because we're on the same account.
Probably.
That's fire.
Area Zero, what did you just pull up? Area Zero was definitely fantastic. Also love the near mention. Yeah, totally underrated compared to the sequel. Yeah, absolutely. I thought that part of the game was super, super cool. When we getting a battle on Scarlet and Violet between you two, how would you even do that? I guess there probably is a battle function, huh? Like a multiplayer battle function.
Certainly.
Yeah.
Yep.
But yeah, I agree with you. I'll play the next generation. I've played all the Pokemon games, so I have to keep playing them, or else.
You've played them all?
All the mainline ones.
Good shit.
Apart from, I haven't played the side like the Pokemon Ranger or whatever, like those games, but I played all the mainline ones. Yeah.
Yeah, that's dope.
Yeah. I've always been in the video games. I've never really fallen off the video games. I've always had a handheld and played through the Pokemon stuff.
Yeah, I bought a Game Boy Advance my last trip to Cardinal Gaming down in Louisville, Kentucky. Shot them out.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah.
I got to get down there. You've been down there multiple times now, haven't you?
Just once.
Oh, just the once?
Yeah. Went down there to visit the Ford Motor Company, the plant, and he's like right there. So we got met for dinner after I went to his place. Dragged my coworker through there. Good times. Good times for sure. Yeah.
How can you guys skip an era? I actually skipped Sword and Shield. What? Grimer also skipped Sword and Shield. You guys can't skip.
I've skipped 10 years.
You could skip. If it's multiple, it's different. If you played every single one, but you skipped one.
Skipping just one is
it's like, wait, what?
You're on a list somewhere.
Yeah.
That's weird.
Grimer and Frisky Squid can no longer ever shit talk me because they haven't played Sword and Shield. All right, there you go. The Pole Father. I did a Pokemon playthrough where I was naming the Pokemon after the people who were in chat. It was live, and I got a Beldum and like a Metagross or something and called it Pole Father, but then I put him in the box and it didn't use him after that.
I'll release them.
He always gives me shit now. Oh man.
I ought to let him faint and then release him to let him be free, or put him with the trainer lady that helps grow the Pokemon.
Yeah,
let him live with her.
Yeah, the little daycare.
Shout out Pole Father.
So, kind of sticking with video games, have you paid attention at all the last couple of days to the Switch 2 announcement?
All I keep seeing is Switch 2, $90 games, $100 games. I don't know what I've read it that's real. What is that true? $90 base games?
Mario Kart, if you buy the physical copy, will be $90 on release. $80 digital. But it sounds like other games won't be as expensive. So I don't know if you get like future content, like downloads with the 90. I don't know. But apparently, they announced a new Donkey Kong that looks kind of cool. That's only, I think, $70. So there's like, it's going to vary in price, I guess, their games. The console is crazy. It's like $550 for a new Switch handheld that basically is nothing but you get your Joy-Cons can now have mice controls. There's a little mic in it. It's got another USB-C port. Like, it's really not all that much different. It's a little bit bigger. It does, I guess the dock is going to allow you to play some games in 4K. But games you have on the Switch already, if you want to update their frame rate, you're going to have to pay to upgrade your Legend of Zelda game to get 60 FPS, 60 or higher FPS. So yeah, it seems a little weird at the moment with it, but
what's the GameCube crossover with it? Because I saw an announcement about that too.
So it's the Nintendo Online service. You know, you can play like NES games and stuff. They're adding 3 GameCube games, maybe at
Pokemon.
launch.
I saw
And
Pokemon
then
Stadium was one of them.
yeah, so later on they're going to add more games, which is going to be like Pokemon. I think they're starting with Wind Waker, F-Zero, and I forget what the other game is. And then later on they're going to be adding more GameCube games. But they're launching the service with only 3 games, which kind of sucks. And then they're launching the console with only like 1 game. It's Mario Kart. Like that's it. There really isn't going to be much else to play apart from the games you already own, which you have to pay to upgrade on the system. So
This is my favorite GameCube game.
Custom Robo, nice. That's kind of an expensive one too, right?
Probably. It's like Japanese robots fighting each other, like Melee style. Way better than Melee. Only pussies play Melee.
Oh, geez. Send all the hate comments to him.
Not my that's not even my hot take.
Chibi Robo. Oh, okay. Yeah, one of the Robo games I knew was expensive back when I used to flip them.
I feel like it's strange for video games to be coming out costing money. I feel like people that charge money for their games know their game's going to be shit because they're not going to be punishing people with microtransactions like GTA and every other decent game. They have battle passes and stuff like that. Like, do you really need to make it $90 for just the freaking for the disc, like, or whatever? Like,
I don't.
I mean, wrecking people with battle passes.
That's why I wonder if like future tracks and content for Mario Kart will come with the $90 purchase price, but I assume it probably won't. You'll probably get the base game for $90 and you'll have to pay $40 in the future for more tracks and stuff. I mean, there's the whole argument of like video games should have always been more expensive because if you take inflation into account, they should be like $100 some a game. So it just makes sense for the price to keep going up, but it's like, I don't know.
Technology's getting cheaper day after day.
So I know that obviously it takes a lot of years, a lot of manpower and stuff to build, really crazy games. And like, that's why, like, if GTA 6 comes out and it's like $90, I'd be like, okay, I get it. Like, I know what a GTA game is. It probably deserves to be $90. Like, the amount of playtime I'll get out of it is probably worth that. If a Mario Kart comes out and it's $90, it's like, come on, dude. Like, what? It's Mario Kart.
At least make a Diddy Kong Racing the best racing game on the 64.
Yeah.
Jesus.
So yeah, I don't know. I put if you want to pre-order, you have to like show your interest, send them an email or something. We'll see. But I do want to play that Z to A game. It looks somewhat interesting. The battling looks a little bit different. I saw that to catch Pokemon now, you feint them before you catch them, which at first I was like, that's kind of way too easy. And then people are like, well, that's how it happens in the anime. Like Ash knocks the Pokemon out until they're, done. And then he throws the Pokeball. And it's like, oh, well, that's kind of true. You kind of got me there. So at first I was like, oh, that's different. And then, so it might be a better and more interesting way of doing it. I don't know. They always make little weird changes here and there, but we'll see.
I feel like the Pokemon PETA people are going to be coming out complaining about catching dead Pokemon.
Yeah, exactly.
Pokemon abuse.
PETA's hated Pokemon for the longest time, I feel like.
I believe that.
Yeah.
Crazy.
But yeah.
So you said you're buying the Switch too then? Already locked it in?
Maybe. I don't know. I sent interest, so I don't know what that means. I don't know if they're going to email me with like a link to pre-order, or if I do get a link to pre-order, I might, just because I do want to play the new Pokemon game, and that comes out this year. And that game is coming out on the regular Switch, but there's going to be a quote-unquote enhanced version that's going to be better on the new Switch. I don't know. I'll probably pick it up if I get the chance to, but I do think it's kind of crazy. It is more expensive. And I understand that people are excited about the GameCube thing, but it's like, why does anyone get excited about the retro games coming to the online thing when you can literally buy like a $40 handheld that has every single Game Boy game in the history of Game Boys on it for like
Yeah.
why get excited about things that you can easily just emulate? And it's the same thing with GameCube. You can easily emulate any GameCube game and play them. So I
It's
don't know.
because it's on the Switch and it could go on your TV pretty easily. And you
Yeah.
can put it on an airplane pretty easily. I don't know. You could
Yeah.
do the handheld on airplane, but you can't put it on the TV very good.
Yeah, I wonder if what is it, the Steam Deck, if that has a or the ROG doesn't Asus make one like an Asus ROG something or other handheld? I wonder if those can probably easily connect to the TV and you could probably put emulators on them, but yeah, we'll see. I am 100% okay with emulating vintage games because they don't sell those games anymore and a lot of them are not available on the current systems. So I'm 100%, especially with Nintendo, 100% okay with emulating those games.
Right.
Brand new games, I'm not. I don't usually emulate those. I will buy those, but
Smart.
yeah. All right. Let's go to another topic, and then we will jump into our hot take and act of kindness. Tag. We were early to the game on the tag grading. You were much earlier than I was. How have you, when you see all this stuff and people making videos and all this positivity and praise, and after knowing kind of what happened to your Zapdos and then what happened to my video with all the cards that were like got tens that were damaged and all that nonsense, has it been as strange for you as for me for people to be all gung-ho and positive about tag?
Yeah, I feel like I'm pulling up to an AA meeting on tag. Hi, my name is Josh. I was taken advantage of by a grading company. Started talking about how my negative experiences, all these bad things that happened to me. The bad man touched me. Yeah, it was unfortunate how early we were to it to get wrecked. I wish I didn't make videos on it. I wish I wasn't making YouTube because I would have cooked with that. But yeah, Tag did exactly what they should have. They did exactly what they should have in the situation. Deactivating the cert, knowing it was wrong. I understand. I could have kept the card in the 10, but it was not like the cert wouldn't pull anything. So they handled it just like any company I would have expected to handle it. I like what they're doing. I like that it's creating competition. I like that people are printing money with it. After getting wrecked on my creature deck Zapdos, not really wrecked, it was already a 7.5. They upgraded to an 8.5 at the end of the day after giving it a 10. And then they graded a bunch of cards for free, and I got a base set Charizard, the first ever one graded with them. And that sold for over $4,000, higher than any CGC 10 ever did. So I can't complain about them too much. I actually did pretty well with them. I'm sad I kind of turned it off after there because a lot of people, like, I knew it in my mind how easy it was to grade some vintage 10s because all of those, I graded so many CDC 9s, I got a few 10s. I don't know, I just pulled back on it, even though I knew it was kind of like a lapse there and it was there for the taking. So I'm kind of sad on that side. And what about you?
Yeah, I think Tag has had a lot of problems in the last few months. I think their changing of their pricing and what they're offering per like grading tier, it was a horrible move in my opinion for a newer grading company. Like the reason why people want to grade with Tag is for the the cool looking scans of your card after the fact and all that stuff. And now basically have to pay for the most comprehensive scan. You have to pay like $75 a card to get that. Which is just like insane. Like you cut out a massive amount of your consumer base that wants that transparency. Like they're coming to you for the transparency, even though we both know that the scans are pretty much horseshit. But like, yeah, I just think that was a massive thing. Obviously, they're crumbling under the pressure of demand right now. There's definitely an increase in demand. There's a push. Somebody pushed. I don't know who it was. I don't know who's buying ads online. I don't know what started at the beginning of the year, but tag just like exploded in relevancy on like January 1st. And I don't know how that happened, but I mean, my video, I don't know what happened to your, like where your video's at. My video still gets insane amount of views. It's over 50,000 views at this point.
A tag video?
Yeah, the one where stuff was damaged and stuff.
I'm
And
too ugly.
But there's like so many people it's just full of excuses. Like the comment section is just excuses of, oh, that card got a 10 because, oh, it wasn't really that bad. Oh, those pinhole dents on the back. Well, they're on the back, so it should still definitely get a 10. Like all these excuses and stuff. And it's just like, oh my God, dude. So I don't know what happened at the start of the year that, and then you have the people on Instagram. I know you watched my live, but people just lying, blatantly lying about like tag grades being the true grade in the hobby. Stuff like that is just insane to me. So yeah, I don't know. I feel like there should be more controversy surrounding tag than there is. I don't know how they're getting away with it. I think people look at the scans and they're like, oh, look, science. Look at these big, cool scans. Isn't it so awesome? And they think that they're getting this insane amount of transparency that the other companies don't offer. And that like buys a lot of goodwill with like the normal consumer, I guess. What do you think about all that?
Yeah, I agree. I think a lot of the content creators promoting it are dusted to the brains, and a lot of them are dumbasses. Shout out to Brian Martin. Yeah, I think some of it is just, it's so strange. Like they're partnered up with it. The way they promote it is very strange. Not a fan. And I think a lot of it goes behind the sale price. Like obviously they're seeing the sale prices of all these massive cards. So they're getting inundated now with additional submissions because people have been killing it. A lot of confirmed sales from Z&G. When I had asked them about it, pretty much 99% of them have actually been paid for. That was about a month ago. So it's not like they're not getting paid for it, and they're all shill bid. He's got one of the biggest block lists on eBay, almost 5,000, if not already there. It's crazy. It's crazy that people are paying this much of a premium for a tag 10 versus a CGC gem mint 10, which is getting slaughtered still. Makes no sense because the gem rates are the same as PSA, if not a little bit tougher. I don't know. It's people just or most people in this are uneducated. Most of the people are watching their incorrect channels, but it makes sense because they have the more viewers and the bigger channels. So there's a lot of misinformation out there. A lot of it.
Yeah. Yeah. It's really unfortunate that their turnaround times have spiked so hard because I'm trying to do a video to test their repeatability for similar cards going through the process multiple times and seeing if they get the same grades or not. And so far, yeah, I mean, their 10-day turnaround, I'm at about a month right now. And it looks like Grooves Collects just got a take sub back, wasn't impressed by the scans, took a month and a half for 4 cards. So I don't know if that was the bulk sub, like the lowest sub tier or not, but yeah, it's definitely taken a lot more time for them to catch up to this demand. Yeah, I
go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, like, I no, I don't know. I still have to think about some of the positive things that I want to say about tag because
The plastic breaking in one hand type thing, I don't have any problem with that. I think that's like over exhausted or exaggerated. I don't think that's a big concern. What are your thoughts on it?
I still have a tag, and I was kind of messing around with my slab, and it definitely like squeaks and makes a lot more noise than a CGC or a PSA slab. The response to that was the problem. It wasn't necessarily really.
Yeah, I don't remember what that was.
Yeah, the response to tag from tag was really the issue with that, and it, I think I don't know. It's like the creator guy made that video. I don't know if you watched that video, but he was very gung ho, like positive
Yeah,
on tag, and then
pumping them
all of
up.
a sudden he's like, "What the hell? I think I just broke the slab." And then so he made that video. Tag, I think, commented on his video. He didn't pin the comment or comment back to them fast enough, and
Yeah,
shared it on multiple social media platforms. So Tag said, "Oh, you're just trying to, spread,
slander.
slander the company, misinformation, blah blah blah, because you're not responding to our, comments or whatever." And then, and then it just spiraled from there. Like whoever's doing their customer service is being a bit too emotional right now. I could see like if you start seeing some negative stuff pop up about your small business that's gaining a lot of traction, I could see you getting frustrated with it, but you have to have some sort of professionalism and especially when you're the company in question. And I think that was not it's not been good so far from a customer service perspective for how they've reacted to some of their controversies. It's only I feel like made it worse, but I don't know if this is a joke or if he's serious. Crimer wants to try Rudy's company. Really like the metal labels in 20 flat fee with no upcharges. I forget who just mentioned this to me about Rudy's company and how ugly they thought the labels were. It might have been Spat. I don't remember who I talked to, but yeah, they were very negative on it.
So I had not ever looked at him, but I know Rudy. Somebody said, "Hey, Rudy discovered shorts," so I went to his channel. I've not even subbed to looked at him, and all of his shorts is promoting his grading company, which is pretty funny. And I didn't realize they did. Basically, they like a top loader type grade. Like they pretty much put a card in a top loader and put roughly what the grade is on the back or something like that. So it's like it's not a full blown slab. It's just like a really small little presentation piece, and I kind of don't mind it for like authenticating stuff. And because I got a bunch of beat up no rarity cards, I'm thinking about doing something like that. I've been thinking about sending it to him.
That's weird. Is that just like because it looks like they do have actual slabs as well with like
yeah,
but then they have whatever this I see
little
what
miniature,
you're saying with like the little miniature ones.
like a one touch case grade.
Yeah.
Those are what intrigued me more than anything.
Huh. Interesting. Yeah, I don't know. I haven't really looked into it all that much. It has 3 types of slabs. Oh Jesus.
I love that there's a Yu-Gi-Oh card on their front homepage though. That's the best. The Duo Beat Lego. Let's go.
There you go. What's up, AM PM Pokemon? How's it going? Welcome. I think seeing the scan is good somewhat, but if I was grading my scans, I would have gave my 9s all 7s the way that they came back. It is weird to be like, oh, this card got a 9 and there's 7 imperfections. It's like, wait a minute,
right.
What? How did 10. The card? Yeah, how did the card get a 10 and it has 4 imperfections? Or and I've seen some other people now where it's like, my 7, my tag, 7 has less imperfections than this tag 10 that has more imperfections. Why did mine get a 7 and that one get a 10? Like that type of comparison, like the more transparent you get, the more people are going to pick it apart And
Yep.
yeah, so that's
For
definitely
sure.
it's a very interesting thing. So we'll see.
Yeah.
Got a comment from or a question from Grimer for you. Favorite TCG you've played, Greenie? I know you dabbled in Hearthstone and Yu-Gi-Oh.
That's to pick one is tough. I really like shout out to my homeboy Tim Thomas, who he was unfortunately in the hospital for the last month, and I got to go visit him a bunch, and we were sitting down playing the World of Warcraft TCG a bunch. That was nostalgic. That card game died in like 08, 09. So that one I really enjoy. Also really enjoy old Yu-Gi-Oh! I'd probably tip my hat to Yu-Gi-Oh! Just because I'm played that the longest, more competitively than anything else. But Hearthstone's also more of an older Hearthstone guy as well. Like modern Hearthstone is a bag. So
Yeah.
but
Yeah,
yeah.
I played Hearthstone quite a bit, but kind of back when it first came out, and until I realized that it was basically pay to win, I was like, yeah, oh, this is kind of fun. And then I got to a point where I was like, I'm not going to pay every single
Yeah.
time. Like,
Every month and a half, it was like you got to spend $60 more if you want the new whatever
yeah.
expansion. I'm like, mother f, this is an expensive video game. Wow,
Yeah, not for me.
crazy. But yeah, recently, a year and a half ago, I got Legend in Hearthstone, which was freaking awesome.
Oh, nice.
That was a grind. First time I ever did that, and I played it when it first came out.
Hell yeah.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
just fun game. I love just having cardboard. I just like playing, drawing hands. Like in meetings, I'm sitting in Teams meetings half of the day, and I'm sitting here just shuffling, drawing cards, looking at cards, playing out of hand. It's after you play it that you can't not play it. Like it's just it. Everyone's wired differently. Some people just don't like it. You're like, oh, that dude's a fucking nerd. But it is just something about it. It's just relaxing.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. One of the conversations I have kind of queued up for when I'm in Chicago is with Dylan Lefevre,
yeah,
Pokenomics partner. And he was a TCG champion in 2008, I think. That was an interesting conversation. I don't know anything about the TCG, like the playable side of the TCG, but I learned a lot in that conversation because he talked a lot about like how the tournaments ran when he was playing, how they run now, and modern, the modern gameplay versus the gameplay that he did, and the tournaments and all the
yeah,
traveling and all that stuff. And it was like, I don't know any of this, but it's fascinating because of how
that's
different
cool
it is
shit.
now. So it should be a fun one for people who are into the actual gameplay side of things.
Yeah, I'd like to listen to that. Was he the one who ran the Gold Star Mew?
Yep.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
that championship deck was based off of his deck, which is
His
freaking
signature
dope.
is on those
That's
cards. Yeah.
dope as hell,
Yeah.
isn't it? That's so cool.
Yeah. Yeah. It's pretty
That is
awesome.
crazy. I think it's the only Gold Star card in a championship deck. I'm pretty sure.
Probably. Yeah. Yeah. It's pretty sick. All right. So a couple things that I have asked everyone that I'm going to be talking to bring to the table is a hot take. And Greenie, you are the master of hot takes. You guys talk about hot takes every week. And also, though, a positive thing, because we focus a lot on the negative in this hobby. Let's talk about some acts of kindness, some positivity, some stuff that's either happened to you or you've done or you've perceived between people in the hobby. So we can start with the hot take and we can end with the act of kindness. What's your hot take, man?
You haven't got enough hot takes. I feel like I've given you like 4 of them bitches.
There's quite a few hot takes today. That's true. That's true.
I feel like it's not going to be as hot of a take as some of the ones I already gave you, actually. Yeah, I think autograph cards are a massive scam. Just doesn't matter. Like, I think on the secondary market, autograph cards are a scam. Super soft. Like
a lot of them are just completely fake.
A lot of them are completely fake. You don't know where they came from. PSA doesn't offer an effing guarantee on autograph cards at all. So if you buy a $30,000 autograph card, you're cooked, because on their website it says we don't give an F. You're not getting any money. That's the dumbest shit in the world. I am not a fan. I had a really cool Christopher Rush autograph card on a beta card, and I don't know if it was actually his. It's because I didn't get it. I think it's really cool when you get them done yourself and you have that. That is really cool to be able to get something like that, people. But to buy it in a secondary market, there's so many fakes. Like today, I think it was today, Rattle made a video about Probstein selling, I don't know, 10 fake signed cards, and they're in PSA slabs, and PSA hasn't yanked them yet, and Probstein hasn't yanked them yet. They probably won't. Probstein don't watch YouTube. He don't listen. Like, if it was Z&G, it'd already be pulled down, and he'd be cooking. He'd be problem solved. And they know who consigned it, so they know who the bad guy is. It's so strange. Not a fan. I think that is a dark side of the hobby. And it's sad because there's a lot of people that were into it, and it's getting tainted hard by all this crap going on.
Yeah.
And it makes sense. It is just the easiest thing to fake.
Yeah.
Take a real card, make sure it's mint. It could be crack a mint 10, do a fake auto on it. They're going to be like, yeah, sure, that looks pretty good. That's in a Rita auto. Sure. I'm good.
Yeah. If you guys are interested at all about seeing fake autos versus real signatures, follow Swolepoke on Instagram, because just about every week there's a new auction block, and he goes through every single one on Instagram and is like, this one's fake, this one's real, this one's fake, this one's real, this one's fake, this one's real. And he's been in the signature game, I feel like, for a long time. I think he's reached out to PSA multiple times, like, I will help you with this if you want me to. And they're not interested. But yeah, there's a lot of signed cards out there apparently that are not legit. So yeah.
It's scary.
Yeah, it is sad. It is definitely sad. It's sad because like you said, like that's why I feel like the reselling of signatures to me has always been kind of crappy. Like, and I know I have friends that do this, and I'm sorry, I'm gonna say it again. I made a video about this in the past and got roasted for it. I'll just say personally, I would never go to a signing event with multiple cards just to flip a signature. Like,
one second, my wife's right here.
Oh no, you're good.
Mess with my cam. You want to come say hi to everybody?
What's up?
Hey.
We'll see you in Chicago.
Oh, it's for me?
Yeah.
Some Feastables.
Mr. Beast Reese's Cups.
Okay. Reese's Cups are special. I don't know if he can do those justice or not. But
it's a peanut butter egg. Never mind.
Oh, all right. Different.
Come say hi.
We'll see you in Chicago.
Yeah,
Megan.
he'll be
Oh yeah.
She can't.
Okay. You don't need to get a close up. Hello.
Hey.
We're live.
Oh, that's good. Have fun. Bye.
Yeah. That's funny.
Awesome.
That's delivery service. Look at that.
There you go. You got an icy and hell yeah.
Peanut butter. We're chilling now.
Hell yeah.
Ready to get started.
But yeah, like you were saying with the signatures, is I'm not one. I don't like the idea of going to a signing event, getting stuff signed just to flip it. That's not really my thing.
Yeah.
I actually prefer, if I was going to get something signed, like there are a few illustrators that I really like Tokia is probably one of my favorite illustrators. If I ever get the chance to have something signed, I will literally tell them, put my name on the card. Like, I want my name on the card, because this is something that's not going to leave my collection. And I don't know what card. Maybe that Charizard that he did with the Ninetales. I don't know. There's so many good Tokia cards, but like, I just don't. I know that people, when they go to these signing events, they got to fly in and they want to pay for their flight and they want one for their personal, all that stuff. Like, that's fine, whatever. It's not really a thing for me. But the fact that because that autograph is someone's. Most of these autographs are ripped from a real card. So the sketch and all that stuff that's supposed to be like personalized and individualized for that particular person is being replicated onto other cards and being graded and sold onto the market, and it makes it less special for that person who actually got it signed, at the event, and that really sucks for those people. So yeah, it's unfortunate, but yeah.
I think the wiping of them too is just dark. Like, if somebody wants to wait in a line all day to get an autograph to make some money, do it. I don't even care. But I care more so just about the fake stuff and that being a scam. And
yeah. All right. Hot take. How about
so a light piece, the Swami House Denver Collecticon was a absolute treat. Got to meet a bunch of people for the first time. So before then, I had been going to collect. I went to like the first Collecticons, and I was vending the first Collecticons by myself, no homies. And then that was like one of the first ones where I got to meet a bunch of people, which was fantastic. Very cool to have some video of it and just panning around the room, seeing all the awesome people I've met in the hobby. And shout out to Pokenomics, really, going back to like when I started watching his videos, getting to know some of the people in the chat at those times, and it kind of turning into like I had my YouTube channel and started interviewing some of those people, and it's crazy that it's changed my life in a sense that it's put me down a different path than probably the one I was going on, which obviously I wasn't going to be doing drugs and shit, but it was not Pokemon. It was something, I don't know what it would have been, but it's more Rocket League flipping crates or something. But this has been a really fun ride. And again, shout out to probably Jake from Pokenomics, the start of it. And then some of the first homies I ever had on my channel, Old School Pokemon, Get the Garrett Games. Just awesome to see all the different things people are in and seeing people's successes and wins is so cool, dude. It's like a brotherhood, honestly, like yourself seeing all your wins. It's fun to watch people have fun and then make money, collect things, and it be vlogged in a sense. Like, seeing all of this is just such a cool thing inside of the internet. My kids will never watch probably 5 minutes of my shit, but it's there for them if they ever want to. I would pay tons of money to have this of my dad. Like, if I at the age of 34 could watch my dad doing something like this, enjoying himself, having fun, like, that'd be pretty wild to be able to sit back and kind of take that in all that time. So I appreciate all the homies, really. It's been awesome. Fun ride.
Yeah, I feel like that Denver trip was the first one that so many people were going to be at. And I canceled like a month beforehand because I just booked my second Japan trip. And I was like, I really don't want to get sick because at the time, we were just coming out of COVID. So I was like, man, I really want to go to Japan. I really do not want to cancel that. It's only a few weeks after this event. So I canceled and I'm like, but now I kind of kick myself that I canceled because everyone had such a good time. But I have been able to meet pretty much everyone that attended that. I don't think I've met Swami, but I think I've pretty much met everyone that attended that at this point. And I 100% agree. Like, being kind of an introvert, a person who's worked from home for the last like 7 years, don't really get out of the house all that much, don't really have like a friend group, prior to Pokemon, outside of like family, So that has completely changed. Like, I'm in Discord every weekend playing video games with you guys now, and we meet up all across the country to hang out with each other on, for shows, and it's just a completely different place in terms of all of those relationships and stuff. So it's pretty awesome.
Yeah, the Charlotte Collecticon, the public house restaurant we closed the bar at 2 or whatever, like that was pretty close to like Swami's. There was just everybody was there. We took up half of that bar. It was we were at least 20 people deep in that bitch. That was pretty fun. That was a good time. That was a good space.
Definitely. So if you guys have any more questions, post them in the chat. We've got a little bit more time before we call it a night.
I got a question for you.
Yeah.
Why Japan over and over and over and not Rome, Italy?
Yeah.
Ireland.
I ask myself that question constantly. Why do I keep going back to this place instead of trying new places?
You could go to the place in the UK where that Pokey Chloe works. Like,
yeah, the Collector's Card House. Yeah, that'd be fun.
Have you been to the UK?
I've been to. I don't know if they're a part of it. I don't think they're. I've been to Scotland. I've been to that country over in Europe. Oh yeah, son of a Merc asked this last night. The pancakes or waffles?
You gonna answer, or did you answer?
Yeah, I answered. Yeah,
my answer is waffles with chicken.
Yeah, chicken and waffles. That's pretty much what I said. There's a local place that has the best pancakes I've ever had in my life. They only serve them on Saturdays, and they are freaking amazing. So if we were saying those pancakes or waffles, I'd probably pick those pancakes. But overall, chicken and waffles is like insane. It's so good. But yeah, it's but yeah, going back to your question, definitely. I really like the vibe out there. Like it's totally. I don't really know. It's just relaxing, but I feel like most places would be relaxing. But you think Tokyo, it's like all hustle and bustle and everything, but then you kind of get a little bit of everything, which I think you probably do in every other country. But like with Japan, it's like the travel is super easy with the bullet train and the subway system and all that. That's super easy to do in Japan. So if you want to see multiple different cities, it's extremely easy. They have a heavy emphasis on anime and Pokemon and that sort of culture out there, video games, stuff that I'm into. So there's a draw from that. And then the architecture and the history of stuff out there is super cool. Like, it just has a lot of stuff that I'm really into. And so I keep going back for that reason. The food's obviously amazing, but I definitely want to do a Europe trip at some point. I would like to see, some of the bigger cities in Europe, like Rome and the place in France that I can't, Paris, London. I would like to see those places because I've never been there either. But yeah, for some reason, Japan just keeps. There's a part of me that's like, I like Japan so much that I want to show everyone else Japan. So it's like, I got to show my brother last year. Eventually, I'm going to bring my mom out there. Like, I want everyone else to, also experience it because I think it's cool. I want to share that experience with them. This year, could I have gone somewhere else? Yeah, probably. But I don't know. I just really like Japan, so we're going back.
When are you moving?
To Japan? No, this is way too hard to move to Japan. They make it extremely difficult for it's not all sunshines and rainbows in Japan. They're kind of, I would say, they make it difficult for people who are not Japanese to move to Japan.
Holding a grudge, huh?
Yeah, maybe. They're just very proud of their history and culture and stuff, and I think they're getting better about it, but I think sometimes they view, foreigners moving in as a dilution maybe of their culture that they're hanging on to. Although I think that attitude is also leading to astronomically low birth rates that if they don't figure out, they're going to be completely just wiped off the map at some point.
That's rough.
But yeah, it is a really cool place. Definitely, if you've ever thought, maybe I'll go to Japan someday, I highly recommend it.
I got one last Japanese question. Do you know, is it like China in the sense that when basically a family will live in a house, grandparents, their kids, and grandbabies, usually they'll all share a house? Is it like that? Because in China it is.
I feel like that's every other country apart from the US. I feel like they're much more, I mean, they definitely revere their elderly and they take care of them. So
Yeah.
I do think you probably have a lot more like multi-generational households. In the US, we're just so individualistic. We're just like, we want to move out at 18. We want to be independent. We don't want, we want to put our parents in nursing homes. We want to, all that stuff when they get
Granny
old.
pods.
Yeah. And yeah, it seems like kind of that culture is very different in that way.
Yeah. The reason I asked, because I just looked up the average cost of a house, 337,000 USD. That's an expensive average for a house.
Yeah. I think probably because most people live in, I mean, if you're going to live in one of the big cities, you're probably going to live in an apartment. And because it's so apartment heavy in like Tokyo and Osaka and like downtown Kyoto area. I don't think the apartment costs are so horrible. They're small. They're small as hell. The apartments are.
Yeah, I'm all set. I'm not built for small.
I think if I ever became like a, crazy millionaire, billionaire, I would probably have a apartment in Tokyo somewhere that's just like kept up as like an Airbnb or something, and something that I can travel to like multiple times a year. But probably never going to get to that point. But it would be pretty cool.
We got a long life to live, brother.
That's true. That's true.
Long life. How old are you?
33.
Yeah.
I think I'm turning 34 this year.
Yeah, I just turned 34 last Friday.
Oh,
and we got a long ways to go.
Oh, you and Mason share a birthday, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Happy birthday, man.
I think he's like 48.
Shout
out to Mason Cardinal game.
I saw him very briefly this past weekend in Miami.
Briefly? That's really?
Yeah, because I flew in Saturday morning and flew out Saturday night, so I only really got to see him around lunchtime. He popped in and we had the worst chicken tenders that I think I've ever had.
The one who got wrecked.
Yeah,
he flew in, something buckled on his rental car, or something happened, and he had to fly home. Jesus.
Chef, I gotta say, Chef, I know you're in chat potentially. You should have just made a phone call, man. You should have just called Charlie. Charlie, we were talking to Charlie after, and he's like, I would have just bought the guy a hotel room. Yeah, but
I'm sure he's like most people don't call asking favors, but
yeah,
there's a lot of bros and homies there, man. He probably could have.
Yeah. Now, sometimes when everything's going wrong, you're just like, screw it. Just take me back to my safe place. Get me back home.
I'm all set.
Yeah.
For sure.
So I could, I can understand. So what are some of the goals for the business this year? Like, do you have metrics you're trying to hit? Is it just like, I want to get to, I want to sell a certain amount of pieces, or we want to have a certain number of consigners? Do you have like goals for the year?
Be profitable. I think we're right there at making profit. We're probably all in collectors insurance and all of our racks and all the boxes we've bought, a bunch of the labels, additional labels and different things, the additional bubble wrap and some of the paper. It's probably about $3,000 startup cost, really, put everything.
Yeah, that's really not.
So we're we've made roughly that profit, maybe a little bit more. So we're right there. The goal originally was selling $50,000 worth of product. We exceeded that in Q1.
Yeah.
So the goal at the end of I'm not going to, it's tough to set it. So we're walking before we run. I'm not pumping the marketing like crazy. I could be paying for these different content creators to promote it, and we could probably get open floodgates, but it's more so by just communication person to person right now. So it's a slow thing, but I want it to be able to replace like a teacher salary is the goal. Maybe not by the end of the year. That would be an exceptional increase, and we're not probably ready for that. So yeah, I think maybe by the end of next year, be able to some version of a teacher salary.
Cool.
$40,000 profit, something.
And if we see a downturn in the market, like I feel like a lot of people think is going to happen eventually, a lot of people are going to want to move sealed. So hopefully there will be an opportunity at that point to just have people ship a bunch of stuff to you and get it listed and get it sold.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting because like right now the slabs, people are selling them nonstop. It's week over week, more and more consignments through Z&G, and where for us it's been a little bit more steady. It's yeah, but at least it's steady. I think every week this year we've had a listing, so it's not like we're flat or zero. So
that's awesome. I mean, $70K in a quarter, if you keep that up, even if you don't grow anything, but if you just keep it consistent, that's nearly $300,000 at the end of the year.
Yeah, I would say that's probably not going to happen just because a bulk of it was a large local Magic the Gathering collection that is it was a decent portion of our sales, a lot of it. So yeah.
Gotcha.
Who knows though?
Yeah.
I don't.
Yeah, who knows? True. Once
That
it gets
was a lot
going,
of
it's
work.
going to get going. Yeah.
That was a lot of work, but it was good.
Yeah, that's awesome.
It was like you ever watch Bar Rescue?
Yeah, I've seen it.
Where they have that first day where it's like the stress test.
Yeah,
that was that. It was us going from 5 boxes a week to 150. We're like, okay,
yeah,
buckle up. Here we go. Yeah, so that was filled the shelves. We literally moved the office, built the new office in the area, just like to have capacity for the crap. Like it's crazy. So Damn. We're ready to go now.
Nice. That's awesome, guys. Run some last shout outs, Greeny. Where can people find you? Where can they support you? Where can they send you stuff for consignment? We'll run through that one more time and then we'll wrap it up.
Yeah, just thegreenshiz.com. You can see all my links, Instagram, my YouTube. The top link is the consignment tab. All of our rates are listed there. Check them out. Let me know if you have any questions. Shoot me a message on Instagram. Always contact me there. But I do make content on YouTube every Sunday. We're doing Fanatics and Z&G Emporium auction recaps. So that has been really fun, getting 40 plus viewers usually every Sunday live, and it's been a really good group of just people. A lot of people selling really high end things in there, commenting on the items they're selling and what they're buying, and watching the market's pretty fun. Just I enjoy it.
Yeah, I always watch those back on Monday morning. So I'm like, ooh, what's selling? What's green? You think about this massive, sale that happened last night, that type of stuff. Yeah, they're fun.
Yeah, it's cool. I've been actually thinking of doing like the Opus clip thing just because I know I make some funny things in there sometimes, but I just don't go back and clip them.
Yeah.
So that'll be coming hopefully here soon.
Awesome. So to wrap up on my end, we'll be talking tomorrow to Skater Nesto. So we'll see how that goes. It should be fun. Should be a fun chat. I don't know if Jake Smith is going to be there as well. I thought he was going to talk to him, but I haven't heard from him. So it might just be me and Ernie, and that would be totally fine as well.
You gotta get them separate.
One half of the Spicy Boys will be joining me tomorrow night. And then Saturday will be Shug and Nasty. So we got some great chats coming up. Thank you very much again, Greenie. I really appreciate you hopping on and doing this thing and helping me out this month. And it's always great chatting with you. And we'll see you literally in less than a week.
In a week.
Yeah.
I'll be there on Friday. So a week and a day. So
yep.
Catch you soon, man. Appreciate it.
Awesome. We'll see you. Bye, guys.
Peace, everybody.